Christina Nichols with Actors Entertainment. Welcome to Sidebeat Music. Today I'm talking with 5-time Grammy-nominated music producer Michael Blakey.
Christina, it's my pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me here.
You have really an extensive resume. You've done quite a lot in your life.
Well, I'm getting old now, so I've been able to accumulate a few things under my belt.
Well, you've been a drummer.
I have.
And then you became, you've done composing, you've done music for television and film.
Yes.
You've done all kinds of stuff.
Predominantly after I was a musician, I played drums for maybe 12, 15 years. I evolved to music production, and that's really where my heart is. So that's what I'm doing now.
How did you decide, what happened that made you realize that music production was really your cup of tea?
Well, what it was more what I was able to do well as opposed to what really I was going after. I just found that was my niche and I enjoyed doing it. So it worked out well. I got lucky with a couple of records. They did well, they charted high, and the rest became history. I've had the fortune to work with some superstar acts. I've worked with people from Engelbert Humperdinck, I've worked with Willie Nelson, I've worked with Gloria Gaynor, I've worked with Tears for Fears. Julio Iglesias is another one that comes to mind, and many, many more. I've managed to work in many different countries all around the globe and experienced different types of music, eclectic music, classical music, jazz, and ultimately pop. That's really where my niche is. Organica Music Group, and we are one of the Universal record labels. We are distributed through Fontana, which is Universal Music Group, and we're very fortunate to have that affiliation. It's very powerful and it serves us very well.
How did this group get started?
Well, it actually was founded by one of our artists. Our artist Margot Ray is a pop crossover jazz artist, and I had actually somewhat gone into semi-retirement. I know that's a pompous thing to say, but I had gone into semi-retirement, and one day a CD arrived in my mailbox accidentally. I won't go into the whole story of how it got there, but it was an accident. And
I kind of want to hear the whole story.
Well, it's long-winded.
Kind of intriguing.
Well, I'll tell you. So apparently, and again apparently, Margot, who I will talk about shortly, had sent her new release to some of her friends across the country, and it got returned supposedly back to her address. My address is very similar to her address. We live on the same street, or lived on the same street. So our mailman, who's a kind of resemblance of a ZZ Top character, he thought, well, I know Michael's a music producer, so obviously where does the CD belong? In his mailbox, and they popped it in my mailbox. I used to get thousands of submissions. I don't really get that many submissions anymore, at least not to my home address. And it intrigued me. I opened it, I put it in my computer, I played it, I thought, wow, this is great. And I fired off an email to Margot, and she was as surprised as I was because she didn't send it to me. And we got into talking, and she had developed Organica. Organica was her creation. It was a record label for herself, basically. Oh. And anyway, after lots of talks and listening to music and sharing ideas and concepts, we got together and we created this record label. So it grew, and as it grew, her fiance, who is Ron White, the superstar comedian, he was backing Margot, and he thought it would be a great idea with all of our talents put together to create Organica Records officially, and we came up with OMG, Organica Music Group. That's how it evolved. Not only is Margot signed to Organica Music Group, I actually manage Margot as well under Yellow River Management, which is my management company. And on top of that, Ron White is additionally signed to Organica Music Group as an artist, as a comedian, and he heads up the comedy division of Organica, and I also manage Ron through Yellow River Management, which I'm very honored to do. When I say 360 record label, what that means is we do music, we do film, we do television, and we do anything else that is now involved with those things. The music industry is not what it used to be, so therefore a record label, in order for it to survive and to become successful, has to open its doors to other opportunities. So we now do touring, merchandising, TV, film. We try to put music into television, into motion picture, and any other area where we actually can. When I started out, I was in recording studios with reels of tape and a razor blade. I would cut the tape, and now it's all done with a click of a computer, and it's beautiful. It's really, really interesting. The downside is everything's digital, and there's a lot of theft in the music industry now. You know, people clone music, they download it illegally. Does it hurt? Yes, not as much as some people claim it hurts, but it certainly does create pain.
Who are some of your clients?
We have signed Crystal Harris. Crystal Harris, for those of you that don't know, she is Hugh Hefner from Playboy's girlfriend. She is the star of the Girls Next Door television show on ETV. Crystal has a cosmetic line called Crystal Harris Cosmetics, and she is an amazing talent, all-round talent. She acts, she sings, she's phenomenal in public performance, and we're very lucky to have her. We also have Gladys Knight. We were able to sign Gladys Knight. Gladys is a legendary performer, one of the world's greatest talents in my eyes, at least. You know, I believe she is probably as good as anybody out there has ever been.
And she has a new album coming out.
Well, we're going to create it. We're going to perform her greatest hits, but in a contemporary style like she's never done them before. We're going to have a dance rendition of those tracks.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So that'll be a lot of fun.
Start hearing that in the club.
That's right, that's right. And on top of that, we have a 90-minute DVD of her performances, her best performances that we're putting together, which should be phenomenal. On top of that, we have done a deal with the Sammy Davis Jr. estate to release some of his unseen works, of which there's about 6 hours.
Wow.
So Sammy is another legend, so it's an amazing, amazing thing that we have there. And of course Margot, Margot is just, when I heard her voice for the first time, I melted. It was just amazing, simply, truly amazing.